Welcome back, I'm Tedward, and today, thanks to Bond Group in Waltham, Massachusetts, on this very first day of spring here in New England, we're driving a Wilhoit Speedster. This is the 1957 Porsche 356 Speedster, but instead of its original 1600cc flat 4 pushrod engine that lots of people like to compare to a Beetle, this one has been punched out to 2.2 liters, and now it makes a lot more power. But with great power comes great responsibility, which means that Willhoit also changes these drum brakes out to discs, and that is greatly appreciated because I have driven a Willhoit Speedster with original brakes, and boy, do you start to feel the speed when you can't take it away. Holy cow, this is a really great example, and this is the boss's car. You may have noticed the Feminod plate on the back, and a keen eye would realize that Bond Group is Feminod on Bring a Trailer. So whenever we're driving these cars, we're often putting them up for auction under the Feminod username. So the big boss is selling the car. Steve Serio has put a lot of miles and a lot of memories with this car, and I'm actually kind of shocked he's selling it. Every sticker here is kind of a badge of honor of a rally or an event that this has done, whether it's the Colorado Grand or the California Melee, or even bringing it to the Quail. This car has lived a really phenomenal life under the stewardship of Steve, and I'm really excited to drive it today. So what is Willhoit? For those that don't know, Willhoit makes these kind of cars into hot rods in Long Beach. So there are ways to get fast speedsters. One way is to spend nearly 7 figures and get yourself a 4-cam Carrera. Holy cow, we just got to drive one of those the other day. That was a pretty exciting thing to operate. However, those are very, very expensive, they're very rare, and they're very expensive to maintain. And you'll likely be very precious about the drives you do with those Carrera engines. And that makes it a little more difficult. The drivability is not quite there on the level of something like this, where you can take your Speedster, send it to John Willhoit. He'll give you this 2.2 liter that's going to make somewhere in the neighborhood of 150, 160 horsepower, and then give you the brakes to back it up. That's the other thing about adding power to these cars. If it's not some ultra precious thing, you're able to then go ahead and modify it tastefully and improve the drivability. That's not something you would likely do on a precious Carrera. That's something that you're going to want to keep completely original, because that's where the value is held. The value is held in this by its drivability, by its joy, and by being able to bring it out whenever you want. And this thing just absolutely screams and sounds phenomenal under load. They are a real joy. We've driven, I think, 2 other Willhoit Speedsters on the channel. One had original brakes, scary. The other, oh, what a peach. Very similar to this car, actually, another 2.2 liter. And that one sold for almost $600,000. So while the money is still high, the drivability is up there, and I think you'll want to just go and stack miles on these things. This one, I love the interior. Steve has done such a cool job in maintaining the aesthetic, but also making it his own. I love this sort of dark green with the tartan inserts. That looks fantastic, and it reminds me a lot of his Sport Classic that we just drove on the channel. And the second I got into this car, I realized, oh, that's likely what the inspiration for the Sport Classic was when he built that. So, under the frunk, this one is particularly cool, and I'll show you why. I have never seen this toolkit before. I've never been under the hood of one of these and seen that box with those clasps. It just looks so rad. You've got your fuel tank back here. The early 356s are a little cumbersome to put fuel into. The later cars, they actually had fuel fillers, but these ones you do have to get under that hood and snake your way over the body, unfortunately, and into that spout. We've got our 5th wheel here, the Techno Magnesio 15-inch. These are really cool because they sort of look like Rudge wheels, but again, a great upgrade to a car that you can upgrade. And that's the best thing about these types of Porsches. You get to have the outlaw. You get to do things that aren't exactly OEM, but you can still keep the same aesthetic. Up front, I also am obsessed with the way he did these rally lights. They look fantastic. And overall, I just think the shape, the style of a 356 Speedster is iconic. It was brought here to the US because of California car culture. Max Hoffman said, why don't we make a car that's going to appeal to the California market? So they chopped the windscreen, they give it a convertible top, they put inserts for the windows. So this is really meant to always have the top down, and that's one of the things we love about these cars. But let's get out and drive it, because that's the whole point. These are driver's cars. These belts are actually ultra cool. I've never seen a clasp quite like that before. Doing my best not to... No, it's actually really well done. I was afraid that the rough edges might cut me, but no, they are properly done. So no injuries here. We like that. Good work, Steve. Oh, these doors even close perfectly. It's the best when you get in one of these cars and they are just solid. Add a little throttle. So we've got heat in it, but just want to warm it up just a tiny bit more before we start going wide open and revving it out. But it's definitely got more than the original. And but I gotta find out. I'm not sure. This feels like a tighter rack, maybe. I mean, this car just feels incredible. I mean, really top to bottom. Well done. In a 356, we had a wrong way driver on that corner. Kind of scared the hell out of me. I mean, I'm not surprised. It's a street that makes sense that people would miss. Shouldn't be a two-way. But yeah, it's just not the car you want to get caught up in against modern traffic. Caught up with that. Oh, look at this gorgeous Audi TT. Fantastic color. my dad always read me these Wind in the Willows books with Frog and Toad. And Toad had a sports car. And I always feel like Toad when I drive a car like this. The shocking part about these Wilhoit Speedsters is that they are fast enough to like get yourself in trouble. They are not as self-limiting as an original Speedster or 356 with a heck of a lot less power. I mean, this thing, your right foot genuinely matters. And it also, because it's so light, has a huge impact on the balance of the car. Suspension also quite commendable, because not only is it handling the power pretty well, but this is, again, the drivability on this is so staggeringly good. I mean, you can actually use this on normal roads, despite the fact that it looks like it needs to be completely babied and just only trailered to the right spots. I mean, you could really take this where you want to go. That's a big thing. People forget about this when they buy classic cars. They think, oh, well, it looks cool. Then they bring it home and they realize, I don't really want to use this. This is not that. This is a car that you will want to use, that you will drive. Trust me, I'm living that life with my 911. My suspension setup on that car is a little crazy. It's a little aggressive. And, you know, I decided to have this part of the conversation on this part of the road because I know that I would be like dreaming of getting back in my Lexus if I were in my Porsche on this road. But in this car, all just feels okay. Like, sure, you're gonna slow down a little bit, but it's 20 mile an hour speed limit anyway. Taken Ferrari GT cars that are 20 years newer than this on those bumps, and it's been much more uncomfortable. I'm sorry, I keep going on about the suspension, but I'm just genuinely happy about it. brakes are just perfect. Ultra stable at highway speeds. This car is very stable on the highway. Oh yeah. Back in regular traffic. It's time to bring this thing back to Bond Group. I am actually sad this thing might be selling. I mean, I hope he has a huge reserve on it, because there's a little piece of me that wants it to not meet that reserve. That's selfish of me, just because I like seeing this car around. But I also know it means a lot to Steve. This is a car he's put a lot of miles on, and I feel honored to be able to drive it. So thank you, Steve, really, for throwing me the keys to your Wilhoit Speedster. This is a car that I've probably seen more photographs of him in than any other car. In terms of the 356 of it all, or the Speedster of it all, this is one of the best. This really is. And you can always aim for the originality game, the restoration game, the 4-cam game. There's such a wide spectrum of 356 price ranges. Anywhere from the low 6 figures to the low 7 figures, or actually probably getting in there with some original stuff. If you've got that Porsche #1, I think you're paying big money for it. But that's besides the point. I digress, as I often do. But in my humble opinion, I think Willhoit is the perfect balance. I think they take an original dish and add the secret sauce, the right accoutrement, the right condiments to just perfect the dish. It doesn't take away from the beauty of the original thing. It just adds to it, and it makes it better. I mean, it's really incredible how good this is and how easy this is to jump in and drive. And although it's expensive, it doesn't also feel so precious that you can't enjoy it. And that's a really tricky balance to find with cars like this. So anyway, I'm gonna go bring this back. Thank you guys so much for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. I hope you enjoyed some beautiful 356 noises, because this thing is just a proper little hot rod. Don't forget to respect the drive, and I'll see you in the next one.